Where's the Money Trail is the 7th episode of Task Season 1. Plus the Haunting of Tom VO, Scene Analysis and Interpretation article title, Tom's Deafening Voiceover and the Money Trail, Chaos of Task Finale, a Strobe-Lit Masterstroke that crystallizes moral collapse time, 1:30 to 2:45, within 3:15 cold open, place, Schuylkill River Woods, dark, after the shootout. Mark Ruffalo's pietà-style cradling of Jimmy Navarro's corpse in the cold start of HBO's Task Season 1 finale, A Still Small Voice, October 19, 2025, abruptly shifts into procedural urgency as Supervisory Agent Lena Vasquez, Sarah Shahi, barks, "Seal it. Where's the money trail?" As SWAT floodlights comb through the blood-soaked underbrush, Grasso's burned. Tom Brandis, Ruffalo, Voiceover, VO, breaks the scene's transition from personal grief to institutional terror with this phrase, which is spoken amidst shell casings and body bags, "That little voice still. Now it's deafening." Based on the biblical title of the episode, 1 Kings 19 verse 12, Tom's voiceover envelopes the turmoil in existential dread, turning the gritty crime procedural into a reflection on morality in the face of corruption. This 75-second scene, which threaded $4.2 million in laundered robbery money through broken souls, is hailed by critics as Ingelsby's finest hour, contributing to the finale's 95% Rotten Tomatoes rating. Comprehensive scene analysis, without spoilers. Instant context, 1:30, post-cradle. Tom stumbles to his feet and carefully places Jimmy's corpse down, his hands stained with blood rising to his face. The frame expands, with blue/red strobes flashing like a crime scene heartbeat against Philly's foggy pines. FBI vehicles screech in. Where's the money trail? Beat between 1:30 and 2 o'clock, action. As she scans the devastation, Vasquez jumps out of her SUV, Glock drawn, and barks into her radio. Her gaze lands on a duffel bag that is partially submerged in mud, with $200,000 in bloody stacks spilling out and bearing the eagle tattoo of dark hearts. "Seal the perimeter," she shouts to the technicians as she kicks it away. We were burned by Grasso, where is the money trail? Clues are revealed by flash cuts, a tire destroyed Grasso's, Fabian Frankel, burner phone. Cayman account scribbles in Jimmy's pocket ledger, $4.2 million total heist loot. Michael Kelly's character Rico's running taillights disappear into the trees. Visuals. Wide images of responders zip-tying Dark Heart survivors alternate with Vasquez's irate close-up, which shows her face streaked with rain, captured by a handheld camera. Real mud, squibs, and flickering tack lights are examples of practical effects that really pop. Tom's voiceover climax, 2 to 2:45, magical layered audio with radios crackling, officer down, and sirens blaring, chaos is at its height. Tom's voiceover interrupts, that still tiny voice. Now it's deafening. Over Jeff Beal's percussion score, his gravelly whisper, recorded in post by Ruffalo, swells and transforms into echoey reverb in time with the strobes. Visuals sync, the woods swirl due to confusing Dutch angles, and Tom's point of view fumbles through the lights. Staring at the cash that has poured, he stops beside Jimmy's body and says, "Money trail leads right back to us." Cut to a brief flashback showing Grasso sending money in exchange for his sister's cancer treatment. With a flask to his lips and a rain-stained windshield that obscures the Philadelphia skyline, Tom pulls out of his vehicle. Transition. Vasquez projects the entire ledger during the FBI briefing in Act 1, $4.2 million traced to Grasso's offshore accounts. Technical and production breakdown, cinematography. Jeremiah Zager. The flickering, moral strobe effect is created by strobe lights reflecting off puddles, which contrasts virtue and evil. For eerie intimacy, the 24 frames per second handheld fury slows to 48 frames per second on Tom's voiceover. Sound design, binaural immersion. Tom's voiceover focuses on the Dolby Atmos mix, while Vasquez's shout moves from left to right. A passage from the Bible VO for Ruffalo's Variety interview was recorded in a single take. Easter eggs. Still small voice mirrors Tom's crisis of faith by explicitly quoting 1 Kings 19 verse 12, where Elijah hears God whispering in the midst of a storm. Critical evaluations and reactions. Voiceover perfection, aggregate 9 out of 10, received universal raves. Collider, the money trail line from Vasquez wakes us up, but Tom's voiceover explodes the soul. Task's thesis, corruption's subdued roar is equivalent to Ruffalo's whisper over Strobe's. Poetry from the Bible in procedural roughness. Vulture, 4.5 out of 5, that voiceover is like a gut-punch prayer, the sirens are drowned out by the deafening conscience. Shahi's Vasquez owns the pandemonium, together they elevate ending from superb to extraordinary. MXDWN, September 10. Tom's voiceover fuels the theme, while the money trail question ignites the story. The ideal cold open capstone, steady, shattered, and hinting to a sequel. Critical analysis, the AV Club, B+, excellent technically, the voiceover is cool, but after the length of episode 6, the money trail feels plot convenient. Nevertheless, the spiritual disintegration is sold by Ruffalo's delivery. Time, the supernatural VO is grounded by Vasquez's urgency, Philly realism meets Old Testament weight. It is quite deafening. 85% upvote thread on Reddit r/television, I got chills from Tom's voiceover, biblical flex. Chef's kiss equals money trail revelation. Some people complain that the Bible quote is too on the nose. Cast perspectives, Vasquez's character Shahi, that money trail scream. My Jersey roots were channeled into pure Philly anger. Interview with THR. Ruffalo says, VO was my favorite scene, whispering truth amid screams felt like therapy. An Emmy-winning performance. Ingelsby says, voiceover equals Tom's breaking point, money trail exposes everyone's sins. Disclosure of the podcast. Thematic impact, Task's arc is summarized in this sequence, the $4.2 million robbery money, which sprang from the pandemonium with the armored vehicle in episode 1, reappears as the still small voice of condemnation. Tom's VO provides the genuine answer, conscience, to Vasquez's query. The redemptive pivot of the finale is introduced by Grasso's confession in jail, Tom's rebirth in AA, and the fall of the gang's courthouse. Task surpasses Mayor of Easttown in conceptual weight, demonstrating a masterful fusion of procedural velocity and spiritual profundity.